Today I will explain the mechanisms of labour, which refers to a series of movements a fetus must go through to successfully navigate the birth canal of a normal vaginal delivery. Firstly, we must have a longitudinal lie. The baby's spine must be aligned with the mother's, ensuring a straight path for delivery down the birth canal. Secondly, we must have a cephalic presentation. The baby must be presented head first downwards. This is the safest and most efficient way for a baby to be born. Next, we have the occiput anterior position. The fetus's back must be facing the mother's front. It must also be noted that the best position for the fetus to be delivered in is in the right occiput anterior and the left occiput anterior position, commonly seen as ROA and LOA. Lastly, we must have a good attitude, a well-flexed head, so the baby's chin is tucked down to its chest. This allows for an ideal diameter and an easy passage. Now I will discuss the 7 sequences of the mechanisms of labour that facilitates the fetus to be born. So here we have the pelvis. The first step seen as is the descent process, which is the continuous downward movement of the baby's head into the pelvis. This begins in late pregnancy as the baby settles into the birth canal and continues all the way throughout labour. As we come to the second stage of labour, the fetus is driven down by uterine contractions, which starts in the fundus, and also the mother's pushing. So here we can see the baby in the pelvis. As the fetus starts to make the journey down the maternal pelvis, the sagittal suture of the baby's skull is positioned in the transverse diameter of the mother's pelvis. So here we've got the sagittal suture in the transverse diameter. The position of the fetus is the largest part of the head and can be recognised as the occipital frontal diameter. As the baby moves deeper into the pelvis, the head undergoes the next stage, which is called flexion, due to the pressure of the contractions. So as the contractions increase, this brings the chin closer to the chest, pushing the fetus further down the maternal pelvis. By chin on chest, this reduces the diameter of the presenting part of the fetal skull. So here we can see we've got a chin on our chest as we moved down. The fetus now presents the suboccipital bregmatic diameter, and the occiput becomes the leading and presenting part, we can see here. Engagement occurs when the greater diameter of the fetal head, known as the biparietal diameter, goes deep into the pelvic inlet. The next step is the internal rotation of the head, which is seen when the fetus's head descends and meets resistance of the pelvic floor muscles. So we can see the pelvic floor muscles are down here and the head has now reached the resistance. The force of the muscles in the pelvic floor facilitates the occiput to rotate forward by 1/8 of a circle. So now we can see the fetus's head rotating 1/8 of a circle, moving underneath the symphysis pubis of the mother. Okay. The fetus's head's anterior-posterior diameter now aligns with the anterior-posterior diameter of the mother's pelvis, which is wider and more accommodating for the fetus. This internal rotation also causes a slight twist in the baby's neck, temporarily misaligning the head with the shoulders. But that is not to worry, because as the labour continues and the contractions increase, crowning then occurs. When the fetus's head no longer recedes with contractions, the head will always become visible. So this is where the crowning occurs and baby's head is born. Here the occiput slips beneath the pubic arch and flexion is maintained by the fetus. With the occiput fixed beneath the pubic arch, the fetus's head pivots forward. This allows the sinciput, the face, and the chin to sweep underneath the perineum, and the fetus's head is born, as I said. The widest diameter at this point is the suboccipital frontal. Moving forward, we come to the stage of restitution, which is a natural untwisting movement of the body and the head. By rotating a 1/8 of a circle back to its original position after once again meeting the resistance of the mother's pelvic floor, this realigns the head with the shoulders, which the shoulders are still inside the mother's pelvis. So here we can see we've realigned the shoulders back with the head. Now the anterior shoulder reaches the pelvic floor from the resistance. It rotates internally 1/8 of a circle, positioning itself underneath the symphysis pubis, which we have got here, which now prepares for birth. In tandem, the shoulder rotates internally towards the symphysis pubis, as I've just said, and the head externally rotates to match the shoulder's positioning. So now we've got the head and the shoulders and everything aligned near the symphysis pubis. The anterior shoulder is delivered first, slipping beneath the pubic arch, which comes out first. Passing over the perineum. Finally, the baby's finally the other arm is delivered and passes underneath the spine, and we have got a baby born, and we put it on mum's chest.